Alright, Rachel, we're here in the final episode of your blind playthrough of what game?
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Let's see what Heidegger has to say about this.
Oh, it's not
Mr.
Heidegger.
President. That's right.
He's now the president.
Well, Heidegger didn't say anything.
Does Heidegger prefer the old man?
I bet.
These are the directors.
Mm-hmm. Nepotism.
He doesn't seem happy.
Yeah, maybe he was eyeing the position. He didn't think it would be simply handed over to the son.
He has the same pose as his dad.
That's in the manual. That's in the handbook. Oh,
This
they're
is
missing
Hojo's
one.
team. Remember, Genova was here. Sephiroth got her.
Mm-hmm. He's left with nothing. No Genova, no Aerith.
But he's happy.
Maybe he likes challenges? Or he just snapped.
What about this scene? So this is not concurrent with your playthrough. This is in the past.
Mm-hmm. What was that?
That's the dog, but if you were paying attention, it's a different kind of dog than what you were used to.
Wait. Is that all of them?
What's going on with Zack?
Hey, Cloud. Did you see that?
Hmm.
The whispers are disappearing.
And Shinra was built. Is he seeing that too?
You said Zack died.
What's your relationship with him again? You're just friends from Soldier Academy? Or are you friends with Tifa and Zack when you were younger? I don't remember really.
Well, it's not in this first part, but if you remember, in the original,
Seventh Heaven.
whispers are all gone.
So we succeeded.
This is the orphanage.
I know. So we succeeded, right? We defied. We killed Destiny. He is alive. How about Jesse?
She's dead.
How is he alive though?
Because she defeated the whispers.
Marlene.
So she's the new flower girl?
Where's Daddy?
Molly!
That's called wireless communication.
So, what now?
What's next for this group?
Sephiroth. As long as he's still out there.
I thought you beat him.
Why are you such a loser?
I
We
thought
can.
we beat him. Aerith's
will.
face sometimes is different.
Count me in.
If it's to be a hunt, you could use a nose like mine.
Did you see a feather in Red's
I'm in
belt?
Bastard
Maybe
wants to
he's a
destroy the
double
whole
agent.
planet, doesn't he? An enemy of hers is an enemy of Avalanche.
So he's sticking true to his beliefs.
Barrett's making up stories to continue his fight, even if it's not true. It's raining. What's that supposed to mean?
This is the first time they all experience rain.
Almost there, Cloud. We're almost there.
So how did you survive? And we're not seeing Zack.
What happened
Look,
there?
that face of Aerith is not her usual
I
face.
miss it. The steel sky.
She didn't want to leave. You forced her out.
Is this a new song?
Yeah, sure. So, what happened there at the end was the past and the present, but that's a different past in another timeline where Zack survived.
They're really literally redeeming most characters in this remake.
But that doesn't mean that the timeline that you are in right now is the one where Zack survives. It's just showing that there was an alternate timeline that Zack did not die.
Okay, we're all crazy now. We just want to believe whatever we want to.
Yeah, if you remember, there was the pouch with a dog. So in the game that we played, the company used a different breed of dog. So that showed that it's a different timeline.
Oh,
So
that's very detailed.
some say that Biggs surviving is also another timeline, but it's not clear.
Oh, this is such an Inception like feeling.
But did you get what the developers were thinking about the whispers? At least in my point of view. What do you think about the whispers? What are they for? Why did they choose to have this concept in this remake?
No, they was just trying to imitate Harry Potter.
What my take is that this is their way of, it's like a meta commentaries. The whispers are like being the hardcore fans of the original and their expectations of the remake. So by your characters literally destroying them, the arbiters of fate, the developers
So
can
you
now
can
take the
own-
next parts wherever they want to.
Okay, I think that's better than that X-Men movie which like resurrected everyone after killing everyone, right?
Yeah, but because if they're gonna try to do a 1:1 remake, they're never gonna please everybody.
Well, at least there's a lot of options now. You can believe whatever you want to.
Exactly. It now gives them the freedom to change things if they think it will be for the better.
Yeah, and that gives people more reason to like check it out. You know, because if you've played the game before, watching a better digital version is like, you know, there's not much. There's not a lot of difference if you're not that hardcore
Yeah.
digital platform
And if you want the original story, you can always play the original version, right?
exactly. So I think this is a lot of value add, right?
Yeah, and you know, it's because of this concept of the whispers and defying fate. This is also, some say, like a sequel because Sephiroth knows he loses. That's why he's trying to remake the events of Final Fantasy VII to avoid the similar ending.
So it's also actually like a two-edged sword. It's like you open one possibility for the best possible ending and also the worst possible ending because you don't know who will survive, if the good one or the bad one or both, or you know.
Yeah, and then for the developers, so I don't think they're gonna change everything. They will probably stick to the
Are
same.
you like the old fan now, Whisper?
No, my take is they'll stick to the same basic storyline, but there will be changes here and there. But the backbone will be the same.
But this also gives them more reason to lengthen the game.
Gives them an excuse to change things up.
Yeah, but this is a lot of effort on their side because you have to think of new ways. Like they did not just adapt it to a better version, better platform. They kind of made a new game out of the original.
Yeah, maybe a 5 to 7 hour section on the original is now a 40-hour game.
Yeah, and I think this is worth it. Not that I'm the one who paid for the game, but I would buy a remake version if this is how it is.
Yeah, it's a well-made game, and I think most will agree, except those hardcore fans who are mad about the changes that they did.
I don't know, because I remember when I was playing the original, I was very much in denial about Aerith's death. Like, it's like a kid's game for me, and how can they like put in someone's death, some really kind, endearing character to die, you know?
I still hope that she dies, but maybe because that's such an integral part of the story. But maybe not at the same exact spot, maybe later on, way later. Not in the middle of the story.
I don't know. I think I'm hoping she lives actually.
Because that's one of the most memorable scenes of the original.
I agree. Like what I said, if you're only gonna remember one thing, that's the one thing you'll remember. Which is what I remembered.
Do you remember the cat that you saw when the plate fell?
The Wedge's cat?
No, there was like a cat who was walking and then he fell on its knees, being sad. You don't remember that?
No, I missed that, I guess.
You saw it, but you don't remember what it is. Okay, fine, never mind. So we're looking.
Why?
Nothing. It's one of the characters. You just forgot about that character, I guess, in the original.
So it's just one of the characters.
And of course, there's a secret to the character which you also forgot. So I'm not gonna mention it anymore. And
Why?
it involves Reeve. Anyway, so I think we're gonna wait realistically 3 years, but if you're optimistic, 2 years for the next one.
Did they like give away the first version for free when the new game's about to come out?
I don't know, but probably not. But it will definitely be heavily discounted, I would assume. Maybe there will be, because the next one is probably on next gen consoles, so there might be like an up-res, a remaster of this one.
That's a lot of work for them. You know, working on a new game and adjusting the old one.
Sure, but maybe a different team would do the remastering.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, it's a longer game, but I don't think it's full of empty fillers. It's
Well,
entertaining.
Well, that was a filler scene, this water area with the crazy dude. Remember him?
Yeah, actually, I don't. His character has still not closed. Like, there's no clarity.
He'll probably be back. But what about Jessie? You think she survived?
Well, if she did, they should have made like another version.
What about Wedge?
I think he died because he already gave him an extension. They can't like be too kind to him to get another extension, right?
So you think only Big survived?
Yeah, because Jessie had her pre-story. I mean, her background story in this game. So we went to her house, we learned about the family and all that. So I think her story's closed. But Biggs is still open because you don't know his side of being a volunteer in the orphanage.
The only thing we know is the orphanage stuff. It's pretty basic.
Yeah, and Wedge
Loves cats.
loves cats, loves to eat, gets hungry fast, and just like what I said, they already gave him an extension. So I think that was his part already. He had an additional contribution to the team.
We'll find out in 2 or 3 years.
I won't even remember my theories by then.
You never do. So, who are the other characters that you remember joining your party that are not in here?
Not in the remake.
Not in this first part, not in Midgar.
Again, the only thing I remember is Aerith dying. Right?
You don't remember any other party members?
I don't know. Komori?
That's Final Fantasy X.
I don't know. Maybe I don't remember at all.
You don't remember a ninja thief girl?
Isn't that like Final Fantasy 15?
You don't remember something?
Riku?
That's 10 again. You don't remember something about spaceships or rockets and outer space?
Isn't that the usual common name they give? Sid? I think we already have a Sid here.
Who's the Sid here?
Wasn't there a Sid? Someone named Sid here?
No.
Oh.
And you don't remember a gun-toting vampire-like dude? No?
Isn't that someone who married the other Final Fantasy girl in the... Yeah?
What about a big fluffy white doll with a cat on its head? You don't remember anything like that?
Are you mixing up all the Final Fantasy?
No,
Are you joining my messed up memory now?
I'm describing the other party members that you did not see in this game.
Are they all from Final Fantasy 7?
Yeah, all of them.
Auron?
Alright. Why are you always talking about 10 characters?
Oh, they are all from 10. I don't know.
Because it was your first one.
Yeah.
Corneo, I think he might be back next time.
Mean guys like him have 9 lives.
But if you notice, there were a lot of ugly areas in the game, like in the slums.
I don't notice that.
The textures were so bad.
I mean, it's the slums. Why bother?
The quality, the fidelity.
I'm not very particular.
Especially in contrast to the beautiful Shinra headquarters.
Maybe that's intentional because Shinra is really high up there, like well thought of, very finesse, polished.
So we don't know how many parts they're gonna break the whole game into, but I guess depending on the sales, if the next one also sells well, they'll keep pumping more, and
as long as it's not empty fillers, as long as they can entertain.
I'm gonna say that if it's not selling as good as the previous entries, they're probably gonna
cut it.
increase they're gonna speed up the pace of the story.
What if it becomes like a TV series and suddenly all Final Fantasy from all other Final Fantasy games meet up?
That's what you call the world of Final Fantasy.
Haha, nope. I mean, like, they meet up with a good intertwined story, not like just doing cameos.
You know, it's gonna be difficult to manage all the different characters with their backstories, with their traits, and not just make them caricatures of themselves.
Too much star power.
Who was your least favorite character here? There's the cat, you see him?
Oh, right, Meowth. Least favorite? Maybe Hojo? Maybe the Shinra people.
Hojo will, among the directors, he's gonna have the biggest role in the story, right? Remember?
I don't know.
So, if you remember, Zack died in the original protecting Cloud to fight off those countless soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
But in the alternate timeline, he survived. And what is his relationship with Aerith? Do you remember?
They're the real lovers?
He was the ex of Aerith. She was talking about, remember? That's why Elmira, her mother, did not want her to be associated with soldiers anymore because of Zack.
Oh, so I was right. They were lovers.
Leslie is a new character in this game, but I think I read that he was in some of the other extension lore, you know, like some of the mangas or side stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, Avalanche is just like Barret. I did not feel their presence at all. It's like all Barret.
He is the leader. Wedge, Biggs, and Jesse are Avalanche as well.
I mean, there should be other part of the Avalanche, right? Like the
Yeah.
ones who were rescued with a helicopter, supposedly.
Yeah, and when you fought Roche, remember, and Wedge got his butt hurt, there were other Avalanche members who saved you as well.
Okay, but they're not as dominant or prominent as you would think they would be.
Yeah, and they're tying Wu Tai to it for the propaganda stuff. But I like how they handled Hojo here. He looks good.
I don't know. Maybe he fits the character. Kind of psychotic.
Exactly, he looks like a monster of a man.
And what else? Scarlet, I don't really remember her.
You're gonna forget this, so I'm gonna say it anyway, but you had a slap fighting sequence in the original with Tifa and Scarlet, don't you remember that? You had a slap fest.
Nope, I don't remember.
I wonder if they're gonna bring that back. It was Tifa and Scarlet slapping each other off.
I think that's a good match. Tifa is a fighter herself, and Scarlet doesn't look like she's gonna step down anytime.
Scarlet doesn't have really any significant role in this game, in this first one.
The TV announcement, wasn't that her shining moment?
That's it, and the one where she was sitting with a soldier footrest.
Right. They're all crazy.
And Palmer as well. We'll see more of Palmer when we get to Rocket Town.
So he's gonna start working by then.
Because they're doing nothing right now.
True.
That whole end sequence where you fought like the big monster that represents fate and destiny, it's their way of having a big finale at the end. Because in the original, like I said, you just escape Midgar.
So, but which was the bigger fight? Sephiroth or the Destiny monster?
Did you even fight the real Sephiroth? Because in your previous encounters, when you fight Sephiroth, it's just another dude with a number on his arm, right?
That is correct.
So in this ending sequence with the Seventh Heaven sign, if you notice, the way that the Seventh Heaven sign is broken is not the same as it was when you see it when you play the game. You know, when the plate came crashing down.
Really?
It does not look the same.
Maybe they already fixed it. A part of it.
It's one way to look at it.
Why? What are the other options?
Again, some are saying it's a different timeline, that kind of thing.
So it's still possible that there's no way they can rebuild Sector 7 if you're the negative group.
Not this soon.
Well, at least what's the name of the landlady?
Marl.
Marl. She's gonna be the next leader in Sector 7.
I still can't believe you thought Marlene would die.
Because I really remember Barrett, like, screaming and...
Yeah, he was screaming about Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge. But she never dies.
Even in the original?
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought he was recounting about how mad he is of Shinra because that's what they did to him, and yeah, that's what I thought happened.
That did not happen. Well, anyway, Rachel, that's the end of the game, and it's the end of the first part of the remake. Any final thoughts?
Take my money. Just kidding.
We'll see you next time.
In Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2.